the weekend that I finally got it, I'll never forget. I was in San Francisco visiting a friend with my son, who's 9. And when we were coming back, it was President's Day weekend, I think, January 17th or something like that. We were coming back, and I had one of those like news alerts pop up on my phone. I think it was from the Wall Street Journal or something, and I read it, and I realized this is really a thing, because they started to talk about shutting down factories in China, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
And then I started to pay more attention to it. But even then, Beth, I still think I had this complacency. And I bet you most CEOs you've talked to feel the same way, where we just never thought it would come to something this dramatic. So long story short, we, from that Thursday through the weekend, worked all through the weekend at H2, my staff did. And we came up with this idea where we could design face respirators. We realized pretty quickly there was a PPE concern as far as inventory. We didn't want to compete with the N95s. And we wanted to be able to provide something to the rest of the world, if you will, the rest of our Coloradans, be they first responders, homeless, et cetera, something they could reuse and just swap out the filter.
How many of those masks have you collectively produced?
Yeah, so great question, Beth. We have designed and produced over 1,000 masks. We have lists of nursing homes and first responders that we've provided them to. So you hear 1,000, you think that's not much. But if you think about, this was 6 weeks ago-ish, we've done a little over 1,000 actually of those face respirators. We've worked in conjunction with companies that have done, manufacturers that have done face shields. We have just done all kinds of fun stuff. And we went ahead and created what we call the Colorado Manufacturing Task Force. And it's comprised of many successful folks, one of which I think is a favorite up north, Cathay Reynolds.
Oh, I know Cathay. She's fantastic.
So she sits on the task force, and a lot of our efforts, we now look at how can we help rural. We don't want them to be forgotten. So after I've just kind of spewed all this, the reality is we took one of those principles of my leadership, heroic ambition, and said, how do we help our fellows, period, fellow manufacturers, fellow constituents? What are we going to do here? We got to do something. There's no point in complaining. There's no point in sitting back and just, twiddling your thumbs and judging the situation. When you're in crisis as a leader, you got to just jump in and try to do something different. That philosophy, fail fast, learn fast.
Yeah.